Okay, we're on page 36. I'm very excited that after a couple of months, now we're able to record. Thanks to Mordechai and Raya. Thank you very, very much. Then afterwards to edit them and upload them on our YouTube channel. We've been learning about the Shirat Hayam, the song that was sung after the crossing through the Yam Suf. And so I want to share with you, right in the beginning of the Az Yashir, a very important point. We read in the bottom paragraph of page 36. First I'll say the verse in Hebrew and then in English. Az Yashir Moshe uvnei Yisrael et Shira Azot Ladonai v'yomru le'mor. Ashira Ladonai ki ga'ol ga'ah sus v'rochvo ramavayam. Then Moshe and the children of Israel sang this song to Hashem, and they declared, saying, I will sing to the Lord, for he is most exalted. The horse, with its rider, he cast into the sea. What we have over here seems to be a straightforward verse that Moshe and Am Yisrael sang the song. Az Yashir, it should have said, the literal translation is then he will sing. Moshe will sing. What does it mean he will sing? It happened. They sang. Why did it say they will sing? So over here, it's alluded to, the Talmud tells us that it's alluded to over here that the revival of the dead. When Mashiach comes, all of the neshamot, all the bodies that have passed away, are going to wake up. How do we know that? Because as Yashir Moshe, then Moshe will sing. There will be a song that will be sung in addition to the one that was sung back then after the crossing of the Yam Suf. There will be another song which will be sung. So that's on a basic level. But on a deeper level, Moshe sang together with Bnei Yisrael. So there is a difference of opinion in the Talmud how exactly the song was sung. There are three opinions. One opinion is that Moshe, actually the song starts from the second line, Asher al Hashem, I will sing to God. So one opinion is that Moshe said Asher al Hashem, and then everyone responded after him, Asher al Hashem. Then he said the next three words, Ki ga'ol ga'ah, every short phrase, Ki ga'ol ga'ah, then everyone repeated after him, Asher al Hashem. Then he said, Sus v'rochvo, and everyone repeated, the whole Am Yisrael, 3 million people. They repeated, without a microphone, they repeated Asher al Hashem. After every short phrase, they just repeated Asher al Hashem, I will sing to Hashem. It's like a chorus, if you wish. The second opinion is that they simply repeated after him whatever he said. So he said, Asher al Hashem, I will sing to Hashem. Everyone repeated, Asher al Hashem. He said, Ki ga'ol ga'ah. Everyone repeated, Ki ga'ol ga'ah. Sus rachvo, Ramav hayam, etc., etc. The third opinion is the most inspiring opinion. And that is that Moshe just had to start off Asher al Hashem. Everyone repeated Asher al Hashem. Then miraculously, simultaneously, every single Jew said the entire Shira together, not repeated after him, together with Moshe. A Ruach HaKodesh, a real divine inspiration. So at first glance, the question is, what's the machlokes over here? What's the difference? What's the major difference how they said it? It's almost, was he wearing a blue shirt or a white shirt? I go, it sounds nice. It's a nice thing, but it doesn't seem at first glance to have any major significance or make any major difference how the shira was said, how the song was sung. So there really is a difference. And the underlining key over here is a very, very powerful line, and that is, let's first get the basics straight. And the basic is that Moshe and Am Yisrael are strongly bonded. Like Rashi says in the parsha we read about a month and a half ago, Moshe hu Yisrael, v'Yisrael het Moshe. Moshe is Am Yisrael, and Am Yisrael is Moshe. It's all one unit. You can't separate between them. And once we realize and we can accept and we understand that Moshe is not just an individual, not just a figurehead, but he's a leader. And in Am Yisrael, it's not just a figurehead which happens to be standing there in front of the congregation. Rather, it's someone who is essentially connected. His neshama is one with the people. That's why Moshe was willing to give up his whole relationship with the Torah for Am Yisrael. For what kind of Jew? For a sinner that 39 days after the giving of the Torah, they saw God, they were unable to be focused and say, if Moshe said he's coming down from the mountain, he's going to be down from the mountain on time. So Moshe and Am Yisrael is one unit. The question is, to what extent is the relationship? Is the relationship in such a way that Moshe does his thing, we do our thing? How are we, practically speaking, going to know the entire song and singing it together? Moshe knows it, it's enough. We need to have a little part in it, so we just say the chorus. Ashir Hashem, Ashir Hashem, like a very basic, it's a very basic relationship. It's not a real deep relationship. It's a basic, which is fine. We accept that there's a relationship, and without this relationship, we're missing something major. So, the first opinion is that our relationship is very, very basic. The next opinion is that it's not enough just to say the chorus. We have to actually repeat after him what he said. So, in other words, we're saying his words. So there's a stronger connection than the first opinion. It's sort of in the middle. According to the third opinion, and this is the 5-star opinion, Shalom? What? Baruch Hashem, עוד מעט נמשיך לדבר. עוד מעט, Baruch Hashem, Baruch haba. The third opinion is the bingo opinion. And that is that there is such a strong bond relationship with Moshe that all he has to do is to start off Ashir al Hashem. Automatically, is that the word? Unanimously, automatically, we start saying Ki ga'ol ga'as the entire several verses. We have over here about 10 or 12 verses. Unbelievable miracle. And that shows that the bond between Moshe and Am Yisrael is so strong that it's deeply engraved in both of them, in both parties. But notice that even according to the third opinion, we needed that Moshe should start off. He should jumpstart. He should say Asher al Hashem. But once he jumpstarts it, then boom, it cruises right into the rest of the entire song. We all start singing it together. So let's just summarize before we go on. According to the first opinion, it's a very technical, basic relationship. He has to say the whole thing. We just do our little chorus. According to the second opinion, we have to repeat after him, which means that there's a nice relationship. It's just we repeat it. He guides us, and we're parrots, so to speak. Not to undermine it. I'm trying to bring out the greatness of the third opinion. Third opinion is that he just starts off, and we're so connected. We just cruise and we do everything together. From here we see what is the ultimate, deepest, greatest level of relationship between Moshe and Am Yisrael. They cannot be one without another. Like it says right in the end of the previous paragraph. If you want to peek into the previous paragraph, the last 4 words. Vayaminu b'Hashem u'v'Moshe avdo. And they believed in Hashem and in Moses the servant. What is that supposed to mean? They believed in Moshe. When did we ever have a thing of believing in Moshe? Actually, my video of last week addresses this. That's fear. This is belief. It's the same concept. That the fear of Hashem, it says, we have a mitzvah last year's parsha to fear Hashem. And so I asked the question, what does it mean to fear Hashem? I'm sorry, so the Gemara says that it says, Et Hashem Elokeichem Tira. You could have said it without the word et. You just, Hashem, your God, you should fear. The God you should fear. Obviously, there's no extra letter or word in the Torah. And the Gemara says, et comes to add for Talmidei Chachamim, Torah scholars. That you have to fear Torah scholars. When you fear Torah scholars, fear Hashem. What does it mean to fear Torah scholars? So we explained, according to the teachings of Chassidus, that really one of the most important things of Yiddishkeit is bittul, to be selfless, not to take up any space, not to have an ego. So what's the Talmud Chacham? Actually, in this week's parsha, the video for this, and I'm sending a Torah, the same idea. First, let's finish. I'm so excited, but I'll give you a little, what's it called, a little plug, a little preview. Thank you. So what did we say last week? What's the whole thing of a Talmud Chacham? Not just that he's learning Torah, but he's one piece with Torah, like Moshe. He's one piece with the Torah. You cannot separate him with the Torah. And so that's what's so special about being so dedicated to the Torah that's your whole relationship with Hashem. So you're not another different like it says in the Talmud that Rabbi, one of the great scholars of the Talmud, when he got to Modim, automatically he bowed forth. Automatically he bowed forth. Didn't have to plan it because he was Avram Avinu. The Talmud, the Zohar says about the chariot, the holy chariot of Hashem. There are 4 wheels. Avram is compared to 1. Yitzchak, Yaakov, and Rachel. What does that mean? A wheel is like a steering wheel. Think of it in 2025, maybe many years before, but it doesn't have its own wheel. Look at the wheels and the steering wheel. If you want it to go right, can you imagine turning to the right and automatically goes to the left? Hello, who's the driver here? So the driver is the one that decides. That's a Kadosh Baruch Hu. The wheels are just, they're going along based on which direction the driver, Hashem, wants them to go in. And that's Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, and Rachel are the typical examples of real bittul. I'm just bringing an example of what it means to be totally not your own being, so to speak, but totally mirroring Hashem's will. Who wants to do this? Automatically, they're tzaddikim, tremendous tzaddikim. So they knew what we're supposed to do. So the same thing over here. Moshe and Hashem, you believe in Hashem, you believe in Moshe. Not that Chas v'Shalom Moshe is God, God forbid, Chas v'Shalom. But nonetheless, because Moshe is so selfless, is so subservient to Hashem, that Moshe is not another entity. His whole being is given over, dedicated, totally given over to Hashem. Just to mention about tomorrow's video, which hopefully you'll see tomorrow, and that is the idea of the king. What's a king? Som tasim alech hamelech. We have a mitzvah in today's parsha to put to appoint a king. So I start off with the idea of that appointing a king, in a sense, today is to ask for Mashiach, because Mashiach is going to be our ultimate king. We don't have a real king today. So Som tasim alech hamelech, one should have a king, is to appoint a king, is to do whatever we can to bring Mashiach now. That's not point number 1. Point number 2, I'll talk about what is a real king in Am Yisrael, not like leaders today, which are totally not examples of what it means to be a role model and to act properly without putting any name. Just you don't have to think too far, and you see that each one has its own thing. So that's what a king is. A king, that's what it says in yesterday's Chumash. L'man yilmad lirat Hashem Elokav. He should teach us that He Himself is God-fearing, and He teaches us when you look at Him, you see fear of God. You see the aura. You see the special light from Hashem. That's what a king is. Not just a figure sitting in his throne and telling us what to do. But that's really that's why the king has to have a Torah with him. In addition to the fact that every single Jew has a Torah, the king has to have his own personal Torah with him wherever he goes. Even when he goes out to war, he has to have his Torah with him. And so this is something which is very, very important for us to remember when we talk about the relationship and the dedication between Am Yisrael to Moshe, it's compared to, like in the second chapter of Tanya, it's compared to our bond with Hashem. Actually, Moshe is considered the medium, the funnel through which our neshama connects to Hashem. We have our own connection also, but it's not a contradiction. At the same time that we have our own relationship with Hashem, every person, even someone who doesn't even know about the Moshe, the leader, doesn't even agree, maybe, not everyone agrees. Some people, nonetheless, every single person gets his life force through Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu is the channel through which, actually, he himself says in Vatchanan 3 parshas ago, Anochi omed ben Hashem uveinechem. That's a pretty bold statement right before the pasuk, right before the 10 Commandments that we read again 3 weeks ago. I stand between Hashem and you. What do you mean? It doesn't sound very, very humble to say, I stand between Hashem and you. But it's nothing to do with humility. He could be tremendously humble. And he's just telling us a fact. That is the truth. Humble doesn't mean you lie. Humble means that you recognize the truth and you recognize that you didn't accomplish this. It's not thanks to you. Say, if you'd asked Moshe, did you give us the Torah? Did you split the Yam for us? He would have said, yes. But if Hashem would have given my talent to someone else, they would have surpassed them by far. They would have been much more successful than me. That's called being humble. Not denying the truth, rather recognizing the truth. This fake humility. A lot of people, oh, me? That's not me. It's just, I did it. And that's a fact. I did it. But the credit doesn't go to me, that's for sure. That's hands down. The credit doesn't go to me. So in summary, what we have over here is a very uplifting statement, which hopefully every day when we read this, we'll think about this. As Yashir Moshe Bnei Yisrael, that there is a strong relationship between Am Yisrael and Moshe. And it's so strong that we don't even need him to tell us. We don't even need him to tell us exactly what to say. We know it. We're intrinsically bonded. It's that we just need him to start us off and to jumpstart, to lead the way, and naturally it's already done. Let's learn, at least in short, let's learn the next verse. What we have there is as follows. Let's first read in the Hebrew. Aziv zimrat yah vayihid li lishua zeh eli v'anvehu Elohei aviv arom. The might and the retribution of Hashem was my salvation. This is my Hashem, and I will glorify him. The Hashem of my Father, and I will exalt him. So when we say the last half, the second half of this verse, so it says, this is my God, and I will glorify him. The God of my Father, and I will exalt him. What's going on over here? So what we have over here, basically, are 2 levels. We have, this is my God, and then we have Elokei Avi. Same God, just the the God of my Father. What does that mean, the God of my Father? That if it's my God, then I appreciate it more. I internalize. He's mine. If he's the God of my Father, that's another level of godliness. It's the same God. It's just another level of godliness, which it's a little more. It's a little higher than me. A little more removed. My Father was very great, so therefore, the God of my Father, I respect him. I acknowledge him. I admire him, but it's not yet mine. I have to do whatever I can to make it mine. But it's still a little higher than me. So this corresponds to 2 levels of relationships that we have with Hashem. One level is emunah, faith, having faith in Hashem. That's very important. Mm-hmm. And then we have knowledge of Hashem, the mitzvah of knowing Hashem, so to speak. What does that mean? That when we have faith, it's wonderful, it's true, it's part of our DNA. We are children, we are believers, the children of believers. But belief is faith, not to undermine faith in any way, God forbid. It's just that it's not such a clear vision, not such a clear appreciation, understanding and internalizing of the concept. I believe you. You tell me something happened, or I have faith in you. I have faith. Whatever you do is good, but I'm not doing it myself, or I don't know it. I don't feel like it's part of me. That's But then you have knowledge. Wow, my knowledge. I understand it. I appreciate it. I was there. I saw it myself. Like seeing vision, for example, is an example. And so, usually, we have faith, and then we have the mitzvah. Da et Elokei avicha. Know the God of your father. What does it mean to know? We should know. Dat is knowledge. We have the mitzvah to learn. The more we learn Chassidus and Kabbalah, we internalize the level of godliness that earlier was in the level of faith and emunah, and we bring it into our knowledge. What happens after that? There's always a higher. Hashem is Ein Sof, no limit. We can't understand that. Hashem is no limit. So every time we learn more and we try to understand better, there's always going to be another level of faith, which is going to be there for us to accept and then to internalize. And when we internalize that, there's a higher level, and then we hope to learn and to internalize that level. When Mashiach comes, it's going to be on a much higher level. We're going to understand much deeper concepts. And number two, this trend of bringing down and bringing more emunah and bringing it down and then bringing a higher level is going to be so fast. And it's Ein Sof, literally unlimited. So it's an unbelievable, very encouraging and uplifting idea that we're able to appreciate the fact that we know Hashem more and more and better and better. So here's the allusion. It's alluding to this concept. Usually you would say first Elokei Avi, that's the God of my father, so to speak, which represents the emunah. It's a little remote for me. It's hard for me to. I don't yet appreciate it. That it's mine. And then you should say Zeh Keli V'Anve'o. This is my God, and I glorify Him because it's my God. That's the next step. Why does it say here first Zeh Keli V'Anve'o and then Elokei Avi, as if to say first there's the internalizing and then there's the faith? The answer is because, as we just said, that even after Zeh Keli, this is my God, even after you've succeeded to internalize one level of godliness, there is always going to be another level, a higher level of godliness that we will bring into the level of faith. And then once that's done, then we have another mitzvah, constant mitzvah. These are constant, that never stops. To learn more, to appreciate more, to admire more, and to make it mine. That also the Elokei Avi, this level of the God of my father, should be also Zeh Keli, my God. That I should appreciate it. It should be part of me. It should be one with me. I think it's unbelievable. It's so profound. And this concept can be brought in different levels, because we're always trying to learn more. We're always trying to advance and to become more connected to Hashem. And this is something, a very beautiful concept that one can think about when we daven in the morning. We learned today about the relationship between Moshe and Am Yisroel, and also the Zeh Keli V'Anve'o, this is my God, and I will glorify Him, and the God of my Father, and I will exalt Him. Thank you so much for joining us. I think we're going to stop over here. B'ezrat Hashem, and we should next week we're going to have a lecture. We're going to have 2 lectures next week, and we're going to have 2 lectures the week after. I'm not sure yet what the subject is for next week, but Tuesday night is going to be a lecture in English. Lecture in Hebrew is going to be huge. Very, very popular rabbi on YouTube, Rabbi Shneur Ashkenazi. He's one of the most popular rabbis on YouTube. So he'll be here. That's going to be in Hebrew. That's going to be on Wednesday night. And then the week after, we're going to have a workshop on how to blow the shofar. That's going to be, it's called Shofar Show Good. Yeah, please do. We're going to learn that. There are a lot of details that go into it. And B'ezrat Hashem, we should all be successful. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And B'ezrat Hashem, looking forward to continuing to learn together.